the last few days. You're actually selling it at the old lower price. What are some of the specials that Midas Resources has?
Well, one of the specials, we have a bunch of specials that we just put out there yesterday, and we haven't raised the prices from yesterday. The franc is still at $3.71, even though gold today is up another $13.40. We've seen a high today of $17.32, currently trading at $1,725. But these silver dollars that I have in this bag, Alex, these are the silver dollars that I put with this video. And this American Dream video is so important to have. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that don't understand, well, what does QE3 mean even? Well, you have to understand the banking system to do this. I've been selling the creature from Jekyll Island forever with silver dollars and getting people involved with understanding the banking system, how money comes into existence and this type of thing. But if you get the video, you get the Big Brother book, you get two silver dollars that were the silver dollars that were meant to be as money by Thomas Jefferson and Hamilton.
You get collectible, high-quality silver dollars for $73 with free shipping and the DVD film on the Federal Reserve Banking Cartel and the book, Big Brother, The Orwellian Nightmare Come True, $73. That's a great deal on the silver dollars.
Well, that's the thing, Alex, because silver was down a couple of weeks ago. I dropped the price to $69. Even on the Internet right now, I have them posted at $73.
Really? We better hit refresh then because it says $73 on the web.
No, Ted. I know. I have the Internet prices have come up. I have a special price. If you call here, we're going to hold the old price at $69. So if you want to have that special right now and get that video with the silver dollars, you can still do it for $69, and that'll happen probably for the next couple of days. I mean, we're looking at $33.74 silver right now. Silver just a couple of days ago.
All right, Ted, hold on. We're out of time. We're going to have to come back and get that offer right for folks and give people the toll-free number. We'll be right back. We got a big guest coming up. That Weldon Henson is not outside the broadcast booth. I have to go get him during the 1-minute break because he's like, you're absolutely right. They're going to nothing but drones in the Air Force. You know, all my buddies that are still in the Air Force are all being taught to fly and pilot drones. And when you talk about how half the Air Force is now drones, it's going to be total drones. Well, yeah, the Pentagon said like back in 2000 that by 2012, half the force would be drone. And that by 2020, 90+% except for troop carriers. But what they're not advertising is that most of the ground forces are going to be robots. And I'm talking about little spider robots that are a hand grenade that walk up to the enemy and kill them. But the thing is, they're autonomous. Here's the LA Times. New drone has no pilot anywhere. So who's accountable? Wow, I'm glad that's being raised because the plan by the globalist is to have their own military, their own system that's automated that humans aren't involved in. And that humans basically, can't say, oh, I'm not going to kill women and children, or I'm not going to commit a My Lai massacre, or I'm not going to do this and that. So I'm going to get Weldon to pop in here at the first 5 minutes. Then we've got expert constitutional lawyer joining us on the whole police state and the web power grab and all the rest of the stuff that is going on that's so important. But briefly, Ted, yeah, I always forget that special where you've got the two silver dollars for $69 if folks call, $73 on the web, because I guess there's web fees and stuff. We have those banners at Infowars.com on the right-hand side if folks want to link through and find that. The American Dream DVD film that's animated and very entertaining about the Rothschild banking cartel, the Rockefellers and the rest of them. And then you've got Mark Dice's excellent book, free with the shipping, and you get silver dollars at a price that's excellent. So it is a loss leader. I happen to know you lose money on big time on that, but you're trying to get folks introduced to silver and gold. But what about folks that are ready to start getting some real silver and gold who aren't just wanting some free books?
I mean, obviously, we're talking about that. I've got a discount right now. There's $69. If you go to the Internet, you're going to pay a little bit more. But, yeah, if you're looking at getting into the gold and silver market right now, I highly suggest that you get into the United States Eagles, the older double Eagles. You can get into the Walking Liberty Halves, the Frank coin. We buy a full year's subscription to Bob's newsletter, the International Forecaster. There's just a lot of things that you can do. When you see the debt ceiling continue to go up and up and up, your portfolio should have more and more gold in tandem with that, because that's the only way the Fed can get more money out into the system. It's how inflation comes into existence. It's a matter of getting that debt ceiling up and then let velocity take it from there. That's how economics work. The Federal Reserve System gets the money into the system through the banking, issuance of credit. And if you don't understand that, that's why I think it's so important to get this video, the American Dream. We can't even have money without debt. And when you see the debt go up, you're going to see the value of the dollar go down. It's going to eat at your substance. It destroys this nation. There's no question about it. You need to have gold and silver to protect yourself from that thing.
Well, Ted, it's time for folks to give Midas Resources a call, 800-686-2237. I know I've bought silver and gold over the years and never sold any of it because it is an emergency backup in times of emergency when you have a global crime syndicate openly preparing to fully overthrow the United States, treating the public like they're the enemy, setting up classical tyranny, starting wars all over the globe and devaluing the currency. It's time to get into silver and gold, and Midas Resources is the leader and supports this broadcast and has insanely competitive prices. 800-686-2237, and tell them Alex Jones sent you and ask them for a list of the Alex Jones specials. All right, thank you so much, Ted.
Thanks for having me up, Alex.
And by the way, we got thousands of these in yesterday because I got sick of the supply chain problems. I went right to the publisher, and I paid to have a bunch of these suckers printed. We've got thousands of bloodlines of the Illuminati right now being shipped out by Fritz Springmeier, and he's joining us tomorrow. You want to know why these people are scum? Read this book. All right, we have a constitutional law expert, Francis Boyle, joining us to break down NDAA. What do you do when you have open criminality in government? The internet power grabs, all that coming up. But right now, I wanted to just briefly get Weldon Henson in here. Worked here about 4 or 5 years, great guy. Who was in the Air Force before that, working on F-16s and other aircraft. Because we're always talking about this. But here's the Los Angeles Times. New drone has no pilot anywhere, so who's accountable? And you can go to their website and actually see what the drone looks like. Looks like something out of a Buck Rogers movie. And the Pentagon has announced that these are going to land on carriers, you name it. And by 2020, they're not going to have any human controlled. So that's just the intermediate. It won't just be that humans aren't going to be in any of the aircraft anymore. It's that it's all going to be drone, and it's going to be globalist programmed. Okay, and then they're also, by 2020, want to have about half the ground force robot. Now, that's really politically incorrect because, John Wayne fights them. Yeah. But let me tell you, that's where it's going. And the thing is, that's why they're getting rid of the law to use the military against us. The Pentagon's publicly drawn up plans to have police robots, everything. And I mean, this is what the technocracy is all about. The globalists call themselves technocrats. It's a global corporate fraud dictatorship of Ponzi operators that have taken the globe over through fraud, control our governments and tax money, and are militarizing against us. And they're worried that military won't do what they say. They know under Ceausescu, Hitler, other cases the military tried or succeeded. So the military is to be phased out. Robots are to work on the robots that work on the robots. And they will do it, unless you're aware of this and stop them. The Pentagon is all about it and loves this level of evil at the top. It's just dedicated to pure Satanism at the top, and has a lot of good people working for it at the bottom. But, Weldon, what do you make of this? We've talked a lot about it, and here it is.
Well, I could definitely see that coming into fruition or whatever. It's... back when I was in, I did 6 years from about 2006, and there was a bunch of talk about unmanned drones, and there was a little bit of talk of this kind of stuff where there's no pilot anywhere. But I do know, even back when I was in, there was a huge influx of switching people with their career fields, from just straight maintenance to flying drones. There's just a huge influx in that right now. I've got several friends that are still in that. Just cross-trained from working on the planes to flying unmanned drones. There's just a huge influx in that career field right now. And I didn't really think much about it until, we talk about this. This comes up every now and then. And so that's why I just, kind of reminded you about that, earlier today when you were talking about it. I was like, yeah, that's absolutely true. It's actually pretty astounding, the numbers that are going over to that type of program.
And soon it's going to be complete drones. But do you see my concern? And the globalists actually say this, that they're going to use this domestically. They're already using drones against U.S. citizens. And that soon the elites won't even need the general military. They're going to have robots working on the robots, Weldon. I mean, it's so creepy. Oh,
I believe that. And I even to go this far where there's no pilots, I remember hearing talk about that. And I know just doing the unmanned drone thing now is kind of just an intermediate thing to another step to get to that level.
Was anybody concerned in the Air Force about this? Did anybody see where it was going?
Not really. Most people are just kind of excited that there's not going to be any humans having to do it, I guess. But
I was reading that the guys that fly the drones even get medals, like when they blow a village up now.
Yeah.
Like they're really big men, but now it'll just be a robot completely.
Well, the scary thing about it, is, Alex, is you really you lose your sight for humanity type, deal where you got someone that's not really flying the plane per se. They're not really in danger. You lose a little sense of humanity, in that kind of, aspect.
Total dehumanization.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now, for, quote, cattle thieves, they're using Predator drones.
I could see that, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of options right now, if for that type of stuff.
And they shake down little businesses and take them for the IRS so they can have drones attack the people that paid for the drone. And we put up with it, folks. Weldon.
They're not just for bombing or whatever. It's for surveillance. Yeah, absolutely. It's just a whole bunch of that going on.
Thanks, Weldon. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central, we are here live. Back Sundays 4 to 6 p.m. Central as well. And 5 nights a week, we give you InfoWars Nightly News with in-depth reports, investigative reports, man on the street, news, all of it. Special expanded documentaries. We are doing our best in the face of this tyranny to resist it. And we do know that if we fail, it'll be like people that failed to stop Lenin and Stalin and people like Hitler or Mao Zedong. There is no doubt by any yardstick, no matter how many constitutional law scholars I have on or historians, I can't tell you how many people, you've heard them, that I've had on. The last guest, Dr. Eisenstein, said, well, you used to seem far out, but it's all true. You're pretty much passé now. Yeah, I'm passé because I got woken up by emergency managers in Texas when the military approached them as part of a secret program to prepare for martial law and political dissidents to be rounded up. I didn't even know what Rex 84 was in the mid-90s. And I went to some urban warfare drills and witnessed the military training to go door-to-door in America and pick up citizens. I read the Hart-Rubman Commission plan to set up a TSA checkpoint system to then expand it from airports to highways, shopping malls, you name it. It's now happening. Now Homeland Security's at Davos setting up a global standardized network of control, exporting this global corporate tyranny that's gestated here in America. It's not of America. I use the 1979 alien analogy. It's been implanted in us. It's gotten sustenance from us. Our blood supply feeds it. We get the blame for it, but it's busting out now, and it's not a foot long. It's about 8 feet tall, and it's very nasty. And it's making its move, but there's always a silver lining. It's now revealing itself. They're saying, yeah, Senator Graham says, we'll secretly arrest citizens, we'll kill you. And the other senator who was one of the co-authors, Lieberman, says, I want you to be scared. And he's up there sweating and looks like a bad guy out of a horror movie. I want you to be scared. And he has these one-way shark eyes. I mean, we are living history. But it's not even a president. They're just puppets. It's a structure, a corporate national security structure. And we have one of the big experts on this, somebody who was also warning of all this, and now, of course, has been unfortunately vindicated. But look at these documents we just got in the last week that are public. Shock docs, total federalization of police, new Homeland Security mission.